How's it going, guys? This is Revolution Ricky here in my house and in my office, Akatsa D Revolution. Going to do another unboxing, or should I say, an unwrapping video. This is to stay with the theme of what I posted in my last video. Uh, I did somewhat of a tribute. Well, I did a tribute to the original spaceman, Ace Frehley. And just to coincide with that, and you know, last week we had lost Ace Frehley, the original spaceman, not the current one being portrayed by Tommy Thayer, or was portrayed by Tommy Thayer in Kiss. This is to coincide with uh, Ace Frehley. So, without further ado, I'll have to open this bad boy up, for lack thereof, and show you what I got. So, here we go. Oops, sorry. Live TV, cut me and break. And here it is. Kiss, off the soundboard. Tokyo, Japan, 2001. In March of 2001. I had actually seen Kiss in concert twice on their farewell tour, and this was the Japanese leg of that tour, done by the original members, except for Peter Criss, who didn't go with them to overseas, and he was replaced by Eric Singer, which I've met Eric Singer. I met him about, I think, in 1997, 1998. Oh God, I can't really remember. It was when the reunion tour was happening, and it was running rampant, and they were fixing to release the the Carnival of Souls album, which was the era of Kiss from 92 to 96. You know, they were sticking with the theme of revenge, and it went into Carnival of Souls, which was a very, even though Revenge was a dark album, Carnival of Souls was an even darker album. But I had liked that lineup. I had, like I said, I had met Eric Singer years ago at a drum clinic in Mobile, where I live. And I had, he autographed a few of my albums. I brought the Badlands cassette, the debut album from Badlands. I had brought the two, because cassettes from Revenge and MTV Unplugged. But on my way back from New York, all my Kiss stuff got stolen off the bus, so I had to, I bought replacement. I had emailed Eric, and I had told him the situation, that all my Kiss stuff got stolen, and if I were to replace the albums from that I bought, if I sent it to him, would he sign those? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I sent him those, and they got signed, and I'll go ahead and show those off. Here's Revenge. I had that one on cassette, but that cassette got stolen, and it was signed. I bought that. I have a Live 3, which is on cassette somewhere around here in these boxes. I don't know where it's at. damn gnat, sorry. And he was kind enough if I sent those the replacements, and he signed the covers. And he had signed MTV Unplugged, which was a great album, and it has all, the 92 to 96 era of Kiss, and it has Peter Criss and Ace Frehley, which I really thought was very kind of Eric. And I compared the signatures to the Badlands cassette that I have, and they matched up perfectly. And he was kind enough to sign these replacements. Although the one for Revenge is all scratched. You can see the scratches on it. I'm going to have to buy a replacement on that. But this one's fine. But I've been thinking about getting my Kiss albums back in order and buying those again. It may take a while, but I guess, since they're relatively cheap now, I can buy them. Ace, like I said, is no longer with us. The only, I think I still got a few here. I'm going to, hell. I was hoping I'd be able to save the hype sticker on this one, but I don't think I can. It's starting to rip off. Let's see if I can. No, didn't do much. That's one thing I can't stand is, you take the type sticker off and let's see if I can try to salvage this one. I guess I can. It's not going to hurt it too much. I can just stick it on this. Like I said, I had him sign those replacement copies, and he was kind enough to do that. And I thought Eric Singer was a great drummer because, he had played with Black Sabbath, he had played with Badlands, he had played with Alice Cooper, and he was a really nice guy to me. So he was very kind, and props to Eric Singer for signing those again. I really appreciated what you did for me years ago, because I had bought those replacements. I sent him a self-addressed stamped envelope to put the copies back in, and he was very nice. And, well, as the farewell tour with Ace and Peter were going on, they had decided to go overseas, but Peter didn't go with them. And so they called up Eric Singer to come back into the band and do the overseas tours, which, I've always said that the Kiss Farewell Tour was the best concert I ever went to. It was just a very good place to have a rock and roll party. A friend of mine who went with me in the April concert where me and him went, I was supposed to go with some girl. Like I said, I don't even remember her name. And I think about 4 or 5 months later, they were playing in Biloxi, and I went to that one. But I went alone to that one and just had a great time. I had sat in the concert in Pensacola in the balcony. So I had to, and it was a good concert, but the one in Biloxi is the one I remember the most, because that was wild. It was fun. It was exciting. I was there by myself. I had met up with a friend he's passed on. He was a big Kiss fan and dressed up as Paul Stanley. We just had a great time, and I was like 2 rows from Paul Stanley when he came out and came out to the crowd and sang Love Gun. And I was about tempted to take a sign with me that says, "Yesterday was my birthday. Please throw me some guitar picks." And I didn't. I wish I did, but maybe I would have got some guitar picks. But I'll never know. But Kiss has always been a great band for me. It's always been special to my heart. I'm just gonna tear this open and we're gonna look at it. I don't think there's any booklets in it. This is kind of like a bootleg, official bootleg series that Kiss has put out. You know, there's been other bands that done this, and it's unofficial releases, but Kiss has decided to make it an official release. And it really wasn't all that much. I mean, it was like, I think like $12, $13. And let's see, is it just CDs? Now here's CD one. Is this CD one? Yeah, CD one. And here's CD two. But here's the inside of it. Just gonna go ahead and just put the hype sticker, what's left of it, even though there's not much on here, so I can keep it on there. I mean, it's, you know, barely readable, but you can see it right there. I had always loved Kiss, and despite their political leanings, I don't really care for that much. They've always been a band that's always been special to my heart. I wish they would release the one for Biloxi off the soundboard. I'd really love to hear that. Or the one in Pensacola. I really would like to hear that. It would be a very special, because I was there. I was there in the crowd listening to them. So my buddy who went with me in the April concert of the farewell tour, he loved it. And we had talked, and the next day we had went to another event, like an independent wrestling event. And, well, that's another story. But I'm going to enjoy this. I'm hoping that I know that they released some, like, from Asylum, from the reunion tour, from the 77 tours, and I'm hoping they'll release more of these, because I would, like I said, I would really love to hear the Pensacola or Biloxi night off the soundboard, because, you know, Alive was not really a live album, you know, and live albums are hit and miss with me. But this, I've listened to some of the Tokyo tapes. I saw the Tokyo show, and I think that this was a better live album. Like I said, live albums are hit and miss with me. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up. I'm going to try to do more next week of these videos, because I'm going to order more. I'm hoping to buy a replacement copy of Revenge. That way I can put the one that's scratched up in this, or just take this cover out and put it in there, or just keep both covers. You never know. Because this is my favorite album of the non-makeup albums, and it's always been a special album for me. And I like this one, MTV Unplugged, because they just strip it down, back to basics. Good acoustic album. I mean, you gotta love these two. I mean, if you don't, something's wrong. Well, that's about it for me. This is Revolution Ricky signing off. Keep spinning that vinyl and the CDs. And I'll see you in the next video. Ace, we're going to miss you. You continue to shock me.